Welcome. Hi, I'm Martha Gallagher, and welcome to the sharing of music from a project called Adirondacks Out and About. I call it Music from Here. And this is a grant-funded project, and I am deeply grateful for this independent artist grant that allowed me to create, and I love creating. So I will share the blurb that I am obligated to share, but also with deep gratitude that this independent artist project is made possible with funds from the Statewide Community Regrants program. It's a regrant program of the New York State Council on the Arts with support of the Office of the Governor and the New York State Legislature, administered by the Adirondack Lakes Center for the Arts. Thank you. It's a delight to be here. When I was putting the word out about this, I called it a concert, but really I think of it more as a studio visit. You're here in my workspace. It's also my home, but my workspace, and I have all my tools of working in creation. I have my beautiful harp. I have my computer right here, which, yes, I'm referring to notes because I can't remember all this. And I have a music stand with music on it. And over here to my right is, you'll see, an easel. My dad built me that easel when I was a little kid because I loved to paint. And he built that for me. And then I use these large pads of paper and lots of different colored markers to start when I'm starting to create music. And this one is all along this road. And I put things on. As you see, I cross things out and use different colors. So it's a place for me to just do big and colorful and just let the ideas flow. And then I start to bring that together more. And I will say this music is very green, but I figured green is perfect for the Adirondacks. And I've created a lot of music. In the 33 years I've been here, I have a lot of music celebrating the beautiful nature of the Adirondacks. But this project, I wanted to focus on people and community, times that were past, present, and future. And community, what is community? Well, the dictionary tells me it's a group of people living together in the same place. And that's pretty nice. I think that pretty well covers it. So the song you just heard is called Adirondacks Out and About. And I have been, in addition to the idea of community and being out and about, I also have this core idea of home around this music. I thought of home for me. I've lived in a lot of places in my life. There's those homes. There's this home, which I've been in longer than anywhere by far. And then there's my ancestral roots home. Celtic areas, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. And so I thought this out and about song, first I wanted it to feel, kind of jaunty, uplifting, fun, like feeling like when I go out and about, when I'm going around tootling between towns or whatever I'm doing, or talking with a friend in the Valley Grow. It just has that nice, wonderful, light feel. And I also thought, well, I'll use a Celtic music form, so it's in a jig form, 6/8. This song, I am still calling it by its reference name, not by its probably final name. It's called the Bookstore Song. And the bookstore was a place in Keene Valley that, it came here as a bookstore, and then at some point my husband and I were owners of it. And the building has been many things over time, and it intrigues me about that. And I know that probably I could go to the library or to the town archives, history, and find out the answers to some of my questions initially in this song. But I really love the idea of the imagining, I wonder who, and I wonder what, and why, and how, and those things. So I haven't gone to look to answer these questions, but the song carries the bookstore or the building through a number of its incarnations. And I will say, because I do use a line in here that I do want to share with you. It's the line says, or did they just blow in? And when we first moved here 33 years ago, I heard that term, blow in, which I had never heard anywhere else. And my family moved a fair amount while I was growing up. So I didn't know the term, and I have to say it was, it's used in reference to someone who's not been part of the multi-generational community, is how I'll say it. And when I heard it many times, it was not in a necessarily flattering way. I did hear the reference recently at a folk festival, and they said it just means from away. But I guess it depends on how you say it. But I always maintain that my family and I were not blow-ins. We didn't just blow in here on the wind. We intentionally, purposefully came here, planted our family here. So I think of us as transplants. In this music, you'll hear a rhythmic musical pattern. I'll give you a little bit of it. And I loved that it caught my ear when it first came to me. And it also has some movement to it. So I wanted that feel of moving on. And there's a chorus that weaves in through the song here and there. Were they happy? Was there love? And that weaves all of the different incarnations together, as well as a changing of time. And a changing of the incarnation, I'll say. There's a structured framework in the music and the lyric, but it also leaves a little bit of room for storytelling. So it's a little bit different each time I've done it. But I wanted it to feel conversational, as if we were sitting around the kitchen table together. So I'll shift my music around here. Whose house was this? Just as you come into town, built so long ago. Small but sturdy house with a tree out front and fields out back stretching towards the mountains. Who were the people living there? Did they come from near or far? Were they part of a family already in town? Or did they just blow in? And were they happy living in that house? Was there love? Were they happy with their children? Were their grandparents there too? Was there love? of time turned, things changed. Somewhere down the road, home became a business property. When, I don't know. When I first noticed it, it was a bookstore. Can you believe it? Over time, my husband and I came to own it. We didn't know how to run a bookstore, oh no. Oh, but you know, it sure was fun. Oh, so many people have told me that's their dream job. But Borders, Barnes and Nobles, and Amazon were rising to power. And eventually we threw the towel in. But we were happy. We loved that bookstore. There was love and books galore. We were happy. We met so many interesting people. Readers, authors, people traveling through. The wheel of time turned. Change happens. After it was a bookstore, it became a rustic furniture store. And they added another building right next door. People in the community weren't really happy about that. But it passed the town planning board. People were not happy about that addition. Didn't really fit in. They did not love it. Nope. Different character entirely. And kind of crowded. No, I don't like it. I didn't either, but I didn't own it anymore. Didn't love it. The wheel of time turned, and many changes happened. An art gallery. Love that. Yoga studio. And then one day it became a coffee cafe with almond croissants and sandwiches and lattes. I loved to sit and sip my coffee in what had been the children's room, talking with my friends, laughing. People were happy. There was connection there. There was community. There was love. There was coffee, of course. We were happy. It was a meeting place. And artists displayed their work there. Coffee cafe closed. That was just a little while ago. And as far as I know, I don't think there's anyone there. I wonder who might live there next. What might a business be there next? What will this bring to our community? Whoever they are, and whatever they do. I hope they're happy. I hope there's love. I hope they're happy. May there be love.
Thank you.
A few years ago, I was invited to join a long-running prayer group in town. And this group had been meeting literally for decades. Some of the people that are in it now, their mothers started it. And I find the deep spirituality, the compassion, the caring and love expressed in the prayers given up each week to be beautiful for our little community, from our little community, and reaching out to all of creation. I wanted to write the music for this to be gentle. But it has movement in it. But purposely also there is dissonance. And dissonance, in this case, I'm doing two notes right next to each other. So you can hear, often our ear wants to hear resolution, wants to hear harmony. So dissonance has a way of asking for movement and expressing challenges, frustrations, troubles. So I included dissonance, and I believe that kind of dissonance is what we feel in our hearts as well. Right? We are seeking harmony. And the chords are used to imply the melody. Upheld by this bass down here. And also there's moving notes in the middle. The melody would be moving in the middle. And that's like the moving parts, to me, the moving parts of our human lives. Now, one of the things that I have been sharing in so many of my concerts over the past few years, a lot of virtual ones and in-person ones as well, is a poetry form called decas, and created by a woman called Rachel Bagby. And it's just fascinating. I'm totally addicted to this poetry form. And I'm not going to do it with you today. It's similar, I guess, in a way, like haiku. It has a form with a number of syllables. Only decas, dec being 10, and the as Rachel says, it's jazz. It's word jazz. I love that. This has a form of 2 syllables in the first line, 3 syllables in the second line, and 5 syllables in the third line. And that can be the whole thing. Or you can repeat that pattern over and over and create a long string of decas. So I was curious, could I make the lyrics of the music, at least the start of each verse, in a decas form, so 2, 3, 5. And I did. And some of it, I felt that it really wasn't forced, but it fit well with the music as well. So each week, 2, they gather, 3, to share their heart's prayers, 5 syllables. Prayers for family, for friends and neighbors. And then the verses go on to have more than that. But I thought that was, that's kind of a cool thing. So I loved doing that. This is about the prayer group. So I just call it, for now, the working title is Prayers. Town each week to share what's on their hearts. Some of their mothers for nations, the world. So beautiful to listen, to hear prayers unfolding with compassion, with caring, with love. And here I'll invite you to turn to your heart. Listen. To what your heart is saying to you. What prayers might be there. Speak them only to yourself. Speak them aloud in your space. Some prayers are requested by people who need them. Some are simply on people's hearts. Sometimes I wonder how many prayers may have been said for me. And so people will gather when community is needed for sharing the prayers on their hearts. Prayers for family, for friends and neighbors, all communities and nations, all creation. This next piece is a chant, and I'll describe a chant as usually written with uncomplicated lyrics and melodies and meant to be sung over and over and over. And this kind of repetition is a meditation, because during this time we stop being concerned as singers. The idea is to stop being concerned about what you sound like, remembering the words, because when they repeat, it just seeps in there, and the melody as well. So we can let go of those more conscious concerns and let ourselves drop into the music and into that, I'll call it spiritual space. And so chants are often, as I say, not complicated. And they connect, they bring us into, when we're singing together, into communion, into community. This one I actually was doing for this grant-funded project, but it fit hand in hand with the community arts grant-funded project that I also did, which is called A River Flows Through. And so I love that there's this interweaving of these two projects in this way. I'm right within easy flooding distance of the Ausable River, the East Branch, and we have been flooded. But I found, especially after the Irene flood in 2011, that I had a much more, even more conscious connection with the river. And for quite a while, it was not a comfortable one for me. Not believing that the river had the human qualities of, it was wreaking revenge on me or trying to destroy, just being more conscious of the power of the river, of water. Now I feel that my relationship is really a beautiful one, even with all of the power and destructive force that water can bring. And yet, in our world, water is life. I'll just sing it a few times through, and you want to sing along? Can you catch it? Be my guest. A river flows through my life. 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 River is flowing, it's ever ongoing. A river is flowing, it's flowing through me. River is flowing, it's ever ongoing. The river flows onto the sea. A river flows through my life. River flows through my life. The river flows through my life. The river flows through my life. River is flowing, it's ever ongoing. The river is flowing, it's flowing through me. River is flowing, it's ever ongoing. The river is flowing, goes on to the sea. The river flows through my life. 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 River is flowing, it's ever ongoing. The river is flowing, it's flowing through me. River is flowing, ever ongoing. The river flows onto the sea. The river flows through my life. 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 Well, we made a quick change out there, and please welcome my husband, Dennis Gallagher. This piece, which doesn't exactly have a title yet, I'm calling it the Cemetery Song, and I'll tell you why in a minute, but it still feels very much in development. But the core of the music is a piece of Dennis's that he wrote for this, and what I'm trying to do is interweave around through it and on top of it, not to make it one song necessarily, but hopefully sound like two songs coming together with their harmonies and their dissonances. So yeah, keep playing, dear. I love walking in cemeteries, and we have a couple of really good ones here. I had actually a number of years ago, I did a song project called Songs from the Stones. So I have a whole collection of music written inspired by local headstone inscriptions as a celebration of life. But one of the times I was walking around Norton Cemetery, I was seeing all of these names that are so commonly heard in our town. And I was seeing from the headstones how the families were intermarried. And for me, it was a moment of illumination to really see like the fabric of the town that's been here for generations. And as I thought of it as a quilt. So patchworks, there's different things, they come together, make a beautiful quilt. And then I thought, so where does like my family, who've moved here without any family connections, how do we fit into this fabric and on this quilt? And what came to my mind was perhaps we're like the applique or the embroidery on top, adding new dimension, variety, a beautiful quilt. Beautiful, my dear. I hope you enjoyed that duet music. It's one of our favorite things to do is to sit out on our porch in the nice weather and play music together and looking at the river or looking at the road. This last piece of this project is called All Along This Road. And the original inspiration came to me, I don't know how many years ago, a lot of years ago. I had done a gig at the wonderful Ausable Forks Library, and I was driving home, so it's along the river, and I just was struck by, the sun was just setting, probably was winter, and I was watching as the houses I came upon, I thought, I know people who live there, or I wonder who lives there. But as the dusk came on, I was watching the lights come on as well. And there was this really beautiful feeling. And I know that there are, people living in the houses that I was seeing, and we might not get along at all. But from that perspective, just as I was traveling through at that moment in that light, everything looked so welcoming, I'll say. I think it's very timely, shall we say, perhaps, that the part of the chorus says, "The homes of friends and neighbors light the way as darkness starts to fall." And this was always intended as both a physical and a metaphorical reference to the light of family, friends, and community, lighting the way when darkness falls. I chose a folk style of music for this one, and this is the kind of music I probably would have listened to when I was in my formative years, teens, young adult, and has a chorus that you can sing along on if you want. And I love that. Singing together really brings us into community. It gives us a sense of communion and community. And I wrote it a bit like, if you've ever had somebody visiting you and they haven't been here before, and you're driving them around town, and you point things out, that's so-and-so lives there, and that's the blah, 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 and all of those things. So I was trying to capture that feeling about if you're driving along, what you might be seeing, what it reminds you of, the people, the places, the moments, all of that. So simple conversational things is what I'd say. And the chorus goes, "All along this road there are people that I know. The homes of friends and neighbors light the way. When darkness starts to fall, we may not always agree, but we are a community and our journey never ends along this road." Along this road, I'm driving home in the evening, just as the sun goes down, seeing homes along the way, lights just coming on. A golden glow comes from within, comes from within. Chorus, and all along this road, there are people that I know. The homes of friends and neighbors light the way. When darkness starts to fall, we may not always agree, but we are a community and our journey never ends along this road. This road, along this road. 2, 3, 4, 1. I'm trying to remember the words here. There are churches, inns, and libraries, grocery stores and shop, views of mountains, rivers, lakes, and streams that make your jaw drop. Houses clustered in little towns and scattered round, scattered round. I pull out of my driveway and head into town. You know, there used to be now they're gone. The flooding of the river destroyed what used to be, what used to be. Here we go. All along this road there are people that I know. The homes of friends and neighbors light the way. As darkness starts to fall, we may not always agree, but we are a community and our journey never ends. Along this road, along this road, this road, this road, this road. 2, 3, 4. Driving up through town, I'm reminded of a friend. She used to live just there before her life did end. Too soon, too soon. I think of places I have lived and all the folks I've known. Winding down this road, I get the feeling I've come home. It's a home like I've never known, never known before. Chorus. And all along this road, there are people that I know. The homes of friends and neighbors light the way. As darkness starts to fall, we may not always agree, but we are a community and our journey never ends. Along this road, one more time. And all along this road, there are people that I know. The homes of friends and neighbors. Sing it out. As darkness starts to fall, we may not always agree, but we are a community and our journey never ends. Together on this road, on this road, this road, along this road. Thank you. I swear I could hear you singing along. That's great. That's wonderful. So we have come to the end of our time together, and I thank you all so very much for being here in this moment, and for those who will enjoy it later at a later time. And I want to thank all of you, and as well the Statewide Community Regrants Program, New York State Council on the Arts, Office of the Governor, and the New York State Legislature, as well as the Adirondack Lakes Center for the Arts. Many thanks for the support. And also, I will say that this concert was funded. If you love the idea of helping to financially support music, new creation, community through music, you can visit my website, adkharper.com, and there's a place there with a button that you can contribute as your heart moves you to, and it's very much appreciated. Thank you. So blessings upon you, and blessings of community.